Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to talk about something that I talked about a little while ago, a couple of years ago now, and that is the Blair Witch Project. And there's going to be a couple of videos coming up in this upcoming week talking about the Blair Witch Project because we just had two great releases come out, one from Imprint and one from Second Sight. We're going to talk about those in a second. But for me, when the Blair Witch originally came out, I was all about the Blair Witch. I was all about, how they were using, the internet to really sell us. I mean, you got to remember back then, the internet was obviously not what it is today. So, you were able to, they had a website and they really just got your mind thinking, making you really think like this was a real thing. Like these people really went missing in the woods. And they did an incredible job marketing this film. And, by the time, the film got a big wide release for everybody to see, the cat was out of the bag at that point, pretty much. And going into seeing it, opening weekend, I already knew what was going on with it. I knew that they were actors in the film, but it didn't take away from the enjoyment of the film. Now, of course, after the film was over, there was a lot of moaning and groaning from quite a few people about the fact that we did not see spoilers, guys. We did not see the witch in the film, but for me, I still enjoyed the film. Now, after seeing the film many times since then, I mean, I've owned this on DVD, I've owned this on Blu-ray, and every single time a new Blu-ray comes out, I upgrade to that next. Even though it's still Blu-ray, I still want getting that next one because you always just want to have that definitive version. Because I don't think this is really a film that, even if 4K ever comes out, I really don't feel like this is a film that's going to benefit from that. I mean, this film with the graininess and just that handheld camera film, footage, the way it feels. I don't think it's ever going to benefit from a 4K release. I really don't. I mean, I think it's just going to make it too clean to where it's just not going to have that same feeling anymore. If that makes sense, I don't think it's going to have the same kind of effect. Now, after seeing it more and more times, and as I've gotten older, I really think about why does this film resonate with me as much as it does? It's because, when I was growing up, the house that I lived in, there was woods right there, right behind there. There was a little bit of a creek. You crossed a little creek, and there was woods. And I just remember, being younger and just going into those woods all the times. Now, you know, even though I went in there into the woods many times, and you kind of get, you find your way around and everything, but there's always those times where you go into the woods and something just doesn't seem right. Something feels off. Like, wait, I don't remember that being there the last time I was here. And, just, it's a creepy feeling, especially, when you start getting those fall days when the times change and, it starts getting dark around 4:30, 5 o'clock. And you start hearing those, you're outside just finishing things up for the day and you start hearing those noises from the woods. And in your mind, you kind of know what those noises are. There's always something in the back of your mind, like maybe it's something a little bit sinister going on in those woods. So I think that's why it really means more to me, this film, because it takes me back to those times of going into the woods. Because when you look at this film, yes, the witch is that's the baddie, that's the villain, that's, the one you're really looking for. But if you really stop and you think about this film, you think about, you know, the woods is its own thing. It's its own villainous entity. It's its own. The environment is a villain in its own right, and I think that's a great thing. And I really had to stop and think about that over years, thinking, this film, yeah, it's about the witch, but the woods play a very big part in this film, and they are just ominous and just as terrifying as the witch. Even though we don't see the witch, it's still terrifying in its own right. So even though we don't see the witch in the film, we do see those woods, and I think that just, it means a lot to me, and it brings back those feelings of going into the woods and just that feeling you would get, like who's lurking around, who's poking their head around that tree. And I just absolutely love that. But let's go ahead and get into it right now. So we have two releases here because I just couldn't get just one. No, guys, I had to get both because the Blair Witch Project has definitely become one of my top films. I'm not going to say it's in my top 5, but it could easily be maybe in my top 10. I think there's a definitely good possibility. And the two releases that I picked up, first we have from Imprint, it's the Blair Witch Project, and it's Blair Witch Project 2, Book of Shadows. That's what really sold me on this one. It's because Book of Shadows is in this release. Now, this, of course, is region free, this set from Imprint. So, we're going to take a look at this one first. Now, in an upcoming video, we are going to talk about the second site release, which I also have for Blair Witch Project. I've heard some things. Some people say this is region free. Some people say it's region locked, depending on which player you play it on, because it is a Blu-ray as well. But first off, like I said, we're going to talk about Imprint, because this is one that, like I said, I had to get. This is the one I ordered first before I picked up the second site set. But like I said, there's the front, there is the back, and that is one of the main reasons why I wanted this in my collection, is for Book of Shadows. It's not the greatest film in the world. It was definitely a letdown after the Blair Witch Project. But, after watching this one again years later, I do enjoy this one quite a bit. I think it's interesting, and it's doing something different than what the Blair Witch Project, excuse me, guys, what the Blair Witch Project did, originally when it was released. It was not found footage, but it definitely has its own creepy factor to it, and I think that is awesome. Especially, there's one particular scene when they kind of figure out what exactly happened to them in the film. Because the cast of characters in Book of Shadows, something happens to them. They wake up one morning and something happened to them overnight, and they can't remember, and they can't put those pieces of the puzzle together. But when they finally figure it out, it is freaking creepy and terrifying. So, yeah, had to get this one. So, we have Blair Witch Project from 1999. We have Book of Shadows from 2000. The original phenomenon and its infamous sequel are brought together in this limited edition 2-disc collection. So, we have, for Blair Witch, we have audio commentary, we have Making of the Blair Witch Project, we have Curse of the Blair Witch, which is a documentary from 1999, The Blair Witch Legacy, which is archival, a featurette. We have an archival interview with writer-directors Daniel Myrick and Eduardo Sanchez, alternate ending, discovered footage, theatrical trailer, teaser trailer, and a second teaser trailer as well. For Book of Shadows, we have, again, audio commentary. We have Created by Hysteria, directing Book of Shadows. We Brought Something Back, filming Book of Shadows. The Secret of S. Reaver, archival featurette. Shadow of Blair Witch documentary, which is going to be kind of cool. I definitely want to check that one out, because I'm assuming it's going to be talking about Book of Shadows, and the Burkittsville 7 documentary, also from 2000. So let's go ahead and open up this Imprint set, because I am pretty darn excited about this one. This is definitely one of my big releases for the year, especially that second. I just couldn't resist with the second sight one as well, and I can't wait to. There's something for everybody. I know some people say, if I'm getting, if I'm gonna get the second sight, why get the Imprint? Or if I'm getting the Imprint, why get the second sight? Because the second sight one is pretty loaded. I'm not gonna lie, guys. It is pretty overwhelming compared to what the Imprint one has. But that Book of Shadows is just, that is a big, big selling point. And like I said, it is region free as compared to, possibly needing a region free player. I can't confirm or deny. Like I said, I think some people have said it depends on the player. So that I will have to check out, because I have a couple different players from different companies. So maybe I can verify if one works and another one doesn't. I have my PS5 is my main one. Some people say it doesn't work on a PS5, but I definitely want to check that out. So once again, there's the front. There is the back. Let's see if we have anything behind this little card here on the back of the packaging. We do. So let's go ahead and get this off of there. Okay. So that is cool. Let's go ahead and take this apart right from the top. We have our Blu-rays on the inside. And of course, we have, come on, guys, we have the iconic images from both films, Blair Witch and Blair Witch 2, Book of Shadows. Let's take a look at the Blair Witch Project first. There's a shot of Heather right here on the front. October 21st, 1994, Heather Donahue, Joshua Leonard, and Michael Williams hiked into Maryland's Black Hills Forest to shoot a documentary film on the local legend, the Blair Witch. They were never heard from again until 1 year later when their footage was found. And of course, it shows all the special features that are included as well with this one. So there is our Blair Witch disc, Blu-ray disc right here. And get a little bit of an image here in the background. I've heard a lot of people say that if this set sells, well, in particular the Second Sight set, if it sells well enough, who knows? Maybe Lionsgate, who owns the rights to Blair Witch here in the States, maybe they will go and actually release, a big box set or something, for the Blair Witch. I think they definitely deserves to have something put out, something big here in the States for the Blair Witch Project. It's definitely, it's a film, whether you like the film or you don't like the film, there's no denying how much this film has meant to film in general. I mean, it really, even though found footage films were done before, nothing put it into the mainstream like the Blair Witch Project. Nothing sent it into that stratosphere like the Blair Witch Project. So let's get to Book of Shadows. There is the back with all the special features. After spending a night in the Black Hills of Burkittsville, Maryland, four young fans of the original Blair Witch movie descend into a nightmare realm of murder, madness, and perception-bending supernatural horror. And do they ever? So, on the inside, there is Book of Shadows on Blu-ray. And we have our background image here showing all our cast of characters in the Blair Witch Project 2, or Blair Witch 2, Book of Shadows. So yeah, this is a nice set. Like I said, this week I think I'm definitely be diving. I think I'm definitely be watching quite a few versions of the Blair Witch Project. But I don't mind because, like I said, I absolutely adore this film now. It's a film that has just grown and grown and grown on me more every single time that I watch it, and I can't wait to check out Book Shadows, which will only be like the third time that I've actually watched that film. Saw it when it originally came out. Like I said, wasn't the biggest fan. Saw it a couple years ago. Actually talked about it on the channel, and it's a film that got better for me. Seeing it all those years later, letting things really settle down as far as the original, and then the second one, just taking it all in and knowing it's just not the same film. It's not a, it has, it's a sequel, but it's done completely differently. And I can appreciate the film for what it's trying to do in that sense. So yeah, really looking forward to diving into that. And like I said, this week's going to be a couple videos talking about the Blair Witch Project overall, with the Imprint set, with the Second Sight set, because like I said, this is a film that definitely deserves that. So like, subscribe, and comment if you get the chance, and I'll catch you in another episode. Take care.